Hey everyone, welcome! I'm Trish and you're at Trish's Creative Treasures. How are you all doing tonight? I am doing great. I've been sitting over here, made dinner. Hi, sweetie. Getting my ice because I need it. Made dinner. Run through some fabric. And I pinned some bags together. But I just wanted to get on here real quick. Jane from Scraptastic Yarns tagged me in this 10 or some yarny, I don't know, just 10 questions about me. And so I figured I would hop on here real quick and do that so I don't forget, and then like months down the road I'm like, oh, I forgot about this. But okay, let's do this real quick. It is number 1. Are you a stitch marker or a no stitch marker person, and how do you use them? I do use stitch markers. I use them when I am making a garment to, you know where when I measure it all, like I put my stitch markers where I do or don't want to seam it together, to where I want like the top and to where the bottom of my armhole to be. Not that I'm amigurumi very often, but if I do, I always use a stitch marker for my rounds, because yeah, I can't just eyeball that and figure, oh, here's where I started. No, I will never find it. I do, like, it depends on what I'm doing. If I need like something to hold it together or something to know, like, okay, this is where I got to stitch the next, one around, and I don't want to have to count. But yes, I do use stitch markers. Number 2, do you do anything special for your hands and wrists? As much as I should, I can honestly say I really don't. I mean, there are times I'll sit here and I'll do this and I'll go like this, and I'll do, like, we had these exercises that they gave us at work, so you knew like what to do to stretch out your hands to help with the carpal tunnel stuff, being a hairdresser. So I do on a regular do some of those, because it actually makes your hands feel pretty good when you stretch it out like that. I think you guys met Ziggy already. This is that little Ziggy, my little baby boy, right? Mwah. He's a mammoth baby. Alright, number 3. What are your crochet goals for the summer? I don't really have any. I just been kind of, whatever I decide at the moment I want to crochet, that's what I crochet and that's what I do. I have nothing special. I do want to start, I really do want to start on Christmas stuff within the next couple weeks, so I'm not at the last minute, the month of December, trying to get everybody's stuff done, and I'm cranky because I'm not getting the time to do what I need. But I don't really have any goals. I made myself the one shirt I wanted to make. I have yet to wear it, but I did make it. So I do have to wear that though, and I made myself 2 bralettes, but I have yet to wear them. I was kind of hoping like the upper chub would go down a little bit. I mean, it has gone down drastically, but not enough where I'm ready to show off my belly yet. Number 4 are, what are your favorite crochet colors for the summer? Always bright. I love bright, bold colors. I like bright and bold in the winter. I like bright and bold in the summer. My like of colors don't really change as far as seasons go. I always seem to like the same colors. You want daddy now? Or are you gonna stay here with mom? Let's go stay here with mom. But yeah, black is always like my top 1 choice. Black. But bright, bold colors, rainbow, hot pink, bright deep red, bright purple, lime green, all that fun stuff. I'm not a natural color person, like neutrals, never have been. Like, I'm trying to make my daughter Tiana, her child that she's due to have November 11th, is going to be a boy, and I'm having a hard time crocheting my grandson's baby blanket because she picked out this, it's big, not Big Twist, it is Premier Basics pumpkin, this like tan color and black, and I'm like, why can't I just do blue? because I have this, like I was going to either use like my candy yarn, the sweet roll, but what are they called? Candy Shop, my Candy Shop yarn. I was going to either use the blue one or the green one because I got plenty of both of them. No. And then I have the checkers color with the puzzle yarn. Nope, she don't want that. So it can take me forever to do it because I don't like the color. All right. Sorry, guys. If you could use one hook for the rest of your life, what brand and what size would it be? I am now hooked on furls, so it would have to be furls, but if there were no furls, it would be boy, you know, because I always say we always start out as like boy or Susan Bates, and I'm definitely a boy person. I can't crochet right with Susan Bates. It just doesn't feel right in my hands. But furls are a lot like the boy. They're like a cross in between, but I love the thicker part, and it's like such smooth sailing with crocheting with them. So, and what size? I would say, that's hard to say because it depends on the project, but most of the time my go-to is a K or a 6.5 millimeter. It's either that or I will go for an H. So yeah, it depends on what I'm making. Number 6, how old were you when you learned to crochet? I was 19. I was pregnant with my oldest daughter, and my husband at the time and I went to go visit his parents, which lived back in the boonies in a little town called Mooresville, down here, you know, about 20 minutes from here. And they had no expectation for snow, nothing. And it was 94, and there was a blizzard. We were getting blizzards already starting in October, because I remember when we went to pick up, we had gotten a husky dog, and when we picked up our dog, it started a blizzard without even any notice, so that dog's name became Blizzard. But anyways, we got stuck and stranded out at their house, and my mother and sister-in-law were both sitting there crocheting, and they were making like never-ending grannies. So I really wanted to crochet, so they gave me a skein of yarn, they got me started and told me what to do. So I could always do what I had to do, but then after that I could never get it started until I met Draken's father. His brother's wife Heather is really into crocheting, so every time I would make granny squares, they always like looked funny, and hers looked perfect, and I'm like, what am I doing wrong? So she watched me crochet, and I don't remember what I was doing, but it took me a while to get used to do it the right way, but then eventually I did, and now I have no idea how I did it, that it was the wrong way. But yes, I learned how to crochet, and all the other stuff I did, it was kind of like by books or just try and see. My mom crocheted, but just like double crocheted basic stuff. And I didn't really have anybody else until I really met Heather, you know, that taught me how to do stuff. And then I wasn't like this crocheter like I am now when I was with Draken's father, or mine when Draken was younger. But I remember after I got sick, it was like 2018, I think it was, and just sitting in bed and in pain, and I discovered YouTube. So first video I watched was something by Crystal Bagaday, and she had made a pair of fingerless gloves. So I followed the I had a couple skeins of yarn in my closet. That was about it. So I got out a skein of yarn. It was homespun. That don't bother me, because back then I didn't know the difference of this or that, where, you know, people really don't like homespun, but it doesn't bother me. But I made those fingerless gloves, and I was proud of myself. I made a wearable. I wasn't just making a blanket, because that's all I knew how to do, is to make blankets with regular old double crochet or the granny square stitch. So needless to say, since like 2018 to now, I have come a long way with my skill and my desire and my need to be with yarn and crocheting. I mean, you gotta have the yarn too. I mean, the yarn's just the fun part of it, right? No, crocheting is too. But what are my next one? Number 7. What are your tips for getting yarn on sale or cheap? I do the same thing everybody else does. I either hear it from word of mouth off of here on YouTube from somebody that's letting us know that there's a big sale going on, or I just go online a lot and I go through Hirschner's, Joann's, Michael's, Mary Maxim, Premier, Lion Brand, Yarnspiration. Yeah, I go and I look at all of them, and if I think it's a deal that's worthwhile, I'll say something to Jim about it. And then if not, we find good deals, clearances at the different department stores or whatever that we go to when we get out and about. But yeah, Marketplace. I have never done this, but one of my clients, she was like a reseller, and she would actually buy big, huge boxes, big lots of yarn off of the Goodwill site where you would bid on it, and then she would resell it online for a much higher price than what she paid for the big boxes. I mean, she would keep what she wanted, and then she would, you know, bring what she wasn't going to be able to use. Like she could only sell like the brand new skeins. So if they were missing a ball band, or if they had some yarn missing out of them, she couldn't sell it. So she would always bring me big boxes of yarn. So I was always thankful for that. But since I haven't been at work, it hasn't happened. So it's just a matter of fact is watching online, look through your circulars, go on your apps, go do whatever. I wish I could find some like yarn resale or like a craft resale stores around here that would sell stuff pretty cheap, but like we only have like Salvation Army and Goodwill, and the Salvation Army that we have here in our little town is very rinky dinky, and they don't sell like household supplies and stuff like that. It's just strictly clothing and shoes. But there's one that's about Lebanon. Oh, he's already sleeping. Lebanon, which I would say is about 45 minutes from here. They have a huge Salvation Army. That was every summer my mom and my kids and I, we would just take off a day on a Wednesday, because Wednesday, before they started changing, like every day now, like a different color tag is on sale. So before they would do that, it was just every Wednesday, and Wednesdays they chose what color tags were on a Wednesday for sale. Now they do it every day, you know, every day is a different color. But yeah, we would go out to this restaurant called Dutch Touch, which was an all-you-could-eat Pennsylvania Dutch breakfast food. I couldn't eat it now, I would be sick, because there's so much like butter and lard and all that. So, number 8, my favorite holiday. Sorry. My favorite holidays go hand in hand with Halloween and Christmas. I love them both equally, and both for separate reasons. As we have said it before, I don't hide my way of being. I am, I don't really say I practice as much as I used to, but I have my skills there, and I do pray and I do think a lot, but I do witchcraft. And no, it's white. There's nothing evil in the craft. I mean, it's only evil if you make it evil. And when you're a healer and you're trying to do good to help other people and to help the earth, to give, just, you kind of, worship's not the word I want to use. You hold everything in a higher stakes, if it has life. You know, anything on this earth has life, and you treat it with respect and dignity, and that's about what that is. But Samhain, which is Halloween, Samhain, which would be the witch's holiday, is actually a witch's New Year. So when I was in a coven, we would do a big party on Samhain, and we would exchange gifts, and we would go over goals, and we would do a Halloween ritual, and it was always a good time. Usually I will go outside now by myself, and I will do my own little thing in remembrance of those in my ancestry or friends or whatever that have passed on before us. I didn't do it last year. Mom died on August 10th, and I mean, today officially is the day that she actually passed. But I just couldn't do it. It was too fresh of a wound. I mean, it's still a fresh of a wound, but I can typically most days talk about my mother without needing to cry. But then I have my days where it's not a pretty picture. But yes, so Halloween is more or less for the fun of, like, I'm a ghost hunter. I love it. I haven't been able to do it in a few years because I haven't been able to walk, but I cannot wait till I can walk and go do some ghost hunting again, and just inviting those that have passed before us into your circle on Samhain, and just to feel their energy with you is beautiful. Christmas I love because I've always loved Christmas since I'm a little girl. It was always a big to-do in our house. I still can remember when we put up our Christmas tree. Now, mind you, my sister is 7 years older than me, so I don't recall my sister really ever helping to put the Christmas tree up, but my brother is 2 years younger than I am, so we would have so much fun putting up the Christmas tree, setting up the decorations. And my mom, it was back then when you had record players, you know, so we would listen to the Muppets Christmas, and we would listen to the Do Re Mi kids. I mean, it's the kids that did the singing in The Sound of Music. So there we had one of them, and then my mom she had tons of Christmas music for us kids that we would just dance around the house singing and having a good time. We'd eat cookies, and putting up the tree was a big to-do night. But I'm so sorry, guys, that I gotta do this. I'm feeling dehydrated today because my mouth is really dry, and my mouth gets bone dry. But when I eat, I can't drink. I get sick and throw up, so I have to do ice. So we just ate before I did this, and I'm thirsty and I'm hot and I feel dehydrated. So, because I've been sitting up here sweating all day. So yeah. But back to where we were. I got off topic. I always do. Shame on me. Alright, so Christmas, yes. I love Christmas. I love the lights. I love to make and buy gifts for people. I used to love to wrap all the gifts, and my mom, she was like, go for it, and she would buy me all the bows and ribbons, and I would make the packages so pretty. And I love to sing. I love Christmas carols. I love to sing Christmas carols. I mean, my dad is he's retired now. He was a police chief, but he's also a pastor. So growing up, we were always in church, and I was always in the choir, and we would do a cantata every year. And I don't know, it's just, I think even though, like, I'm not Christian, I don't know, the Christmas carols are just like a part of growing up, my life, you know, and things that I never really thought ever were a big deal before. Now that my mother's gone, I realized how important they were, and just how really special they were, and how much it's meant to me growing up. So yes, I love the Christmas carols. But I love that feeling at Christmas time, the peace, the lovingness that people have towards each other, and wanting to good for each other. But why does that only happen then once a year? Why can people not want to help each other out and be like that all year round? You know, I see how it's like sometimes it's just, you know, people can be so cruel to other people and not care. And I mean, I'm the kind of person that would give you the shirt off my back if you needed it. But it's hard though, because there's so many sketchy people out there that lie about stuff. So it's like, yeah, what do you do, you know? But anyways, yes, I love Christmas and Halloween equally, but for different reasons. Number 9, what is your favorite benefit of crochet, and how has it helped you? The therapy, I think. how has it helped me when I got back into crochet after I got sick and I started having all these problems and I was having issues with my legs. I was down, I was depressed, you know, like my life was taken from me. Everything that I'd like to do, I couldn't do. I couldn't run around with my friends and I couldn't go dancing, and, you know, I was active. I was always active. And then to go from active and not being able to be active and to get up and do anything, the excruciating pain that kicks in, and then, you know, everybody thinks you're crazy because you can't. I look like I'm fine on the outside. I am. If you looked on my insides, I don't know how that would look. But anyways, how has crochet helped me? It pulled me out of that dark hole. It made me feel like I had a purpose. It made me feel like I was good at something again. It was just therapeutic. It made me feel comfort when I would sit and crochet, you know. It was just, I would go into my own little world and nobody else was in that world, just me and my yarn. And it still can be that way. But then at other times it's like you gotta do what you gotta do, and you're like, I don't want to do this, but you gotta do it, you know, because you started it, and then you're like, this is not making me happy. But, you know, you gotta do it, so you do it anyways. Unless it's something you don't really have to do, but usually I've told someone I'll make this for them or do that, so I've got to finish it, you know. But that was the 10 questions. So I guess if you want to do this, tag, you're it. I am going to name off a few podcasters that I'm going to tag in this, but if I don't name you, please, by all means, take me and say, Trish from Trish's Creative Treasures, tag me, because she told me tag it, tag you're it, everybody. But the few that I am actually going to tag in this is Bridget from Queen's Crafts by Bridget, Neva from Manic Mama's Musings, Jeanette from Mrs. Hootie Hootenton's Crafts, Melody at Melody's Cozy Crochet, April from Tool Time Adventures, and Bella's Crochet Gifts. I think that's it, right? Bella's Crochet and Gifts, something like that. But those are the few that I have personally tagged. So if I didn't put you in there, please just go do this. I will put all the questions in the description box below, and that way you can just copy it and do your own thing. Have fun with this, and we put these around. Why? So we get to know each other a little bit better. So I'd like to thank you for coming on over and hanging out with me here for a little bit and listening to me ramble on about stuff about me and just stuff that probably didn't pertain to anything, but I'm a rambler. I like to talk. It is what it is. It's my social. That's why I get to be social that much anymore. So, alright guys, I am going to get off here because I have got to finish doing my vlogist for today. So I will get this put up, and then I'm going to get my vlogist put up, and then we shall see you all tomorrow. So I hope you all have a great night. Stay safe. Stay cooled off, because you don't want to stay warm. Stay cooled off. Alright guys, I love you. Y'all have a great day.